Hi guys, recently I got this little piece of kit and I have to admit it's really changed how I do my videos. Now while this thing looks very impressive, I have to be completely honest about my experience. Both the good parts and the bad. Most importantly, since I got this little piece of kit, it's completely changed how I shoot my videos. Maybe you've noticed. The main reason for this is the portability it provides. It has a nice little handle or tripod to hold the camera, light and microphone as one unit if I'm trying to show you something on the workbench, for example. The light has 3 brightness settings and the microphone can be repositioned in opposite directions to suit whatever scene I'm working on. It also has a cool remote that I can start and stop the recording with from a distance without having to reach for the phone. Of all the features of this little rig, the microphone is my favorite part, but again, being honest, that doesn't mean it didn't come without any problems. I unboxed this thing and started working on another video and immediately noticed a buzz in the audio feed. Changing cables rectified this, or so I thought, but an hour or so later, in the middle of shooting, while inserting the audio plug into the back of the microphone, the socket came loose inside the casing and I lost all sound. It being late on a Saturday afternoon and the shop I bought it at being closed for the weekend, I decided to investigate by carefully opening the microphone case up to see if I could fix it, only to discover that the plug socket had come loose from the circuit board inside. Somebody had clearly skimped on the solder, or just did a shitty job of it. But yes, cheap stuff, right? Cheaply made. So I dug out my soldering iron and with a good deal of squinting through a magnifying glass, I eventually got the thing resoldered to the board. Just to make sure it stays there, I covered it up with hot glue as well, so it'll probably never come loose again. And yes, it worked perfectly after that, even with the original cable, and I've been using it to shoot my videos ever since, including this one, except for the earlier parts where I had to actually show you the rig. Finally, here is my critique of this little device. Firstly, the tripod legs are sturdy and hold the unit stable with the additional weight of a phone attached. They also fold well to use as a handle if using the unit to move around while filming. However, the legs don't adjust or extend, and if they did, it would have been much more flexible to use on diverse and uneven surfaces. Of course, that would probably have pushed up the cost, and this was a cheap product. The other problem is a lack of a tilt setting. If set up as supplied on an average height table or desktop, unless I put it on top of a box, I get a pretty good shot of my neck or chest instead of my face. There's no way to adjust this thing's tilt angle or view up or down with the unit as supplied. But then again, this was a cheapie, so I guess that's forgivable. Thirdly, the quality of the build is not wonderful, but it's functional and quite resilient. Although I've had 0 failures or problems from any part supplied aside from the input jack in the back of the microphone case that decided it had enough of my shit and wanted out, it's held up fine so far. The unit came without any useful instructions. The box was printed in Portuguese or Spanish, and I could translate it, but that's all advertising, not instructions. Yes, most of the kit is pretty self-explanatory, but I still don't know if the Bluetooth remote it came with has any other uses than just starting and stopping recording, and there are 2 buttons and I only know what one of them does. The remote seems to have a mind of its own. Sometimes the phone reacts to it, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just randomly closes the camera app while you're in the middle of recording. Or that might just be how my phone reacts to the remote, so who knows? Now we come to some pluses. All the parts in this kit have standard fittings compatible with other similar photographic or phone and vlogging equipment. This makes it easy to substitute parts or even to add other items to it as needed. The module threads are even the same as my 120-year-old Kodak land camera tripod, so as I've been using it, I've substituted the tripod legs for an adjustable set I had in my toolkit and added an adjustable universal joint so I could tilt the camera angle upwards as needed. The microphone is a sort of semi-directional condensed microphone and I like its sound quality. It's so sensitive it picks up my wife quietly crunch-munching chips on the sofa while I do voiceovers. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it will even pick up a mouse farting in the next room. The light uses 3 AAA batteries and has a stepping switch that alters brightness each time you press the button and turns it off at the end. So far, the light has been adequate and I've never needed to use the light beyond the first on setting. The light can also be changed between forward and rear facing orientations, so you can illuminate yourself or whatever you're filming in front of you. This is a good, functional, basic little kit that probably won't win any awards for looks, but then again I might not either, so what? This little kit is definitely good value for the money. I paid 179 Rand for it and I'm seriously considering buying another second one soon to use the microphone separately as a desk mic or to shoot second angles with. Honestly, if I'd known back in January what I know now, I'd have saved all the money I blew on 2 expensive full-size microphones and just bought 2 or 3 of these instead with a smile on my face. I didn't want this video to end up just being a review of this vlogging kit. After all, the thing's a cheap, no-name brand I've never heard of. To add to that, I'm not a brand elitist or a snob when it comes to good, affordable equipment. After all, we live in hard times and I don't live in a country where, like many of the big YouTube channels out there, stuff is cheap and people toss working PCs out on the sidewalk or dumpster for other people to find and reuse. Yeah, we use that stuff up until it's completely done. Not everybody can afford to buy the latest new PC tech off the shelf here, and the second-hand market, Facebook Marketplace and the like, is pretty much where a lot of South Africans buy their tech. To give you an idea, I've never even seen an i9 processor or a fancy new AMD Ryzen in person, and I doubt I ever will. These things may be somewhat pricey in dollars, but if you do the math and convert those dollars into rands, the outcome is pretty damn scary and unaffordable. I plan on doing a video about a few online shopping platforms like AliExpress, Temu, Amazon and Takealot soon, so keep your eyes open for that. That's all for this time. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to click like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
She's the wizard on the screen, turning bits and bytes into a high-speed